What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your host, Isaiah, and we received some major news today as Iowa State women's basketball star Addy Crooks announced that she is entering the transfer portal. And this is exactly what I was expecting her to do, because after their loss to Syracuse in the first round of the tournament, she stated that she was unsure if she would be returning to Iowa State. And then a week later, Addy Brown and Jada Williams entered the transfer portal. So once that transpired, I knew that there was no way in the world that Addy Crooks would return to Iowa State, because she's a big-time competitor. We all know that she's a great player, one of the best players in women's college basketball. But she is a big-time competitor, y'all. I mean, she hates to lose, and I saw how frustrated she was after their loss to Syracuse, because in that game, she had 37 points and 6 rebounds, and they still lost. And again, you could just see the frustration on her face after the game, like, wow, I had this great performance, and we still weren't able to win this game. And so I think the writing was on the wall, y'all, after the game, that she would be departing Iowa State. And I think she would have left even if Jada Williams and Addy Brown didn't enter the transfer portal. But once they entered the portal, I definitely knew that Addy Crooks would be following suit and leaving as well. And it's really unfortunate that it came to this point, y'all, because coming into this season, Iowa State had so much promise. You know, we were all excited when they were able to bring in Jada Williams, you know, and have this big three of her, Addy Brown, and Addy Crooks. You know, I thought Iowa State could be a sleeper team to make it to the Final Four just because of the talent that they had on their roster. And they started off the season incredibly well, as they were 14-0, but then unfortunately they had a bad stretch in January and they were never able to recover from it. And y'all, they end up again losing in the first round. I mean, think about a team that has that type of talent. They cannot even win one game in the NCAA tournament. Massive disappointment, y'all. And you know, because of that, obviously Addy Crooks felt like it was time for her to explore other options in her career. And I commend her for doing that, because I know this was a difficult decision. You know, she's from Iowa, so a lot of people view her as being the hometown kid, and I'm sure a lot of people wanted her to stay, but she had to do what was best for her career, y'all. I think we've seen the last couple of years that there's been a huge transformation that has gone on when it pertains to this transfer portal in women's college basketball, because the first couple of years when the transfer portal was introduced, you didn't really hear many superstar players entering the portal. You know, a lot of the star players were remaining at their schools, y'all. But the last couple of years, we've had so many star players in this portal, whether it's Taniyah Latson, Janai Barker, Jada Williams, Cody McMahon, Keomi McMillan, and now Addy Crooks, y'all. And I think this proves that these star players, they don't just care about the money, but they care about winning. And I think a lot of people thought that when NIL was introduced to collegiate sports in 2021, that a lot of these players were just going to chase the money. They were just going to chase the bag, and they were going to put winning to the side, y'all. But again, you've seen the last couple of years of women's college basketball, all these star players have entered the transfer portal. Why? Because they want to win. And that is why Addy Crooks entered the transfer portal, y'all. And I'm not saying that Iowa State doesn't have a good women's college basketball program, because they do. But, y'all, the problem is they have not advanced to the Sweet 16 in Addy Crooks' tenure. And I know she wants to play in the Sweet 16. I know she wants to, you know, compete for a national championship. And she was never going to do that at Iowa State, because they're a good program, y'all. But she needs to be part of an elite program that can really take her career to the next level. And that's why I'm so intrigued by the, you know, schools she could potentially go to, because obviously we know, I mean, practically every school in the country is going to be interested in her, because she is one of the best, one of the most dominant players in women's college basketball. But y'all, I think there's only a handful of teams that truly make sense for her, that will give her a chance to still be the dominant superstar player that she is, but also, y'all, give her a chance to finally compete for a national championship. And y'all, I think the first team is Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame is coming off a magical run to the Elite Eight, but y'all, they desperately need more talent around Hannah Hidalgo. And can you imagine Hannah Hidalgo and Addy Crooks on the same team? I mean, they would immediately become the best guard center duo in women's college basketball. I mean, the pick and roll action between them would be virtually unstoppable. And I think this would just be a great fit for her and for Notre Dame, because they need an elite player, y'all, and she would fill that role. They also need some size, you know, need some height on their team, and she would definitely provide that for them. But then also, she would finally, you know, be able to compete for a championship, because I really believe if you have Addy Crooks and Hannah Hidalgo, you can go very far in the tournament. We just saw what Hannah Hidalgo just did by herself, y'all, leading Notre Dame to the Elite Eight. So imagine what she could do if she had a superstar player like Addy Crooks alongside her. Now they could maybe compete for the Final Four for a national championship. So I really like that fit for y'all. The second team I really love for Addy Crooks would be UCLA. Obviously, they're losing Lauren Best to the draft, and they're going to have a massive need at that center spot. Addy Crooks can come in and fill that void incredibly well. And I think they have the system that she likes to run because, you know, UCLA has a methodical style of play offensively, which is the type of offensive system that Addy Crooks had at Iowa State. So I think this would be a great fit for her. And then, y'all, I really like Oklahoma. Similar to UCLA, Reagan Beers is going to be entering the draft. So they're going to have a massive need at that center spot. You can insert Addy Crooks there, and then, man, they could potentially have the best guard center duo in women's college basketball with Aaliyah Chavez and Addy Crooks. And then, y'all, another team that I really like would be Ole Miss. They're going to have a massive need at their center spot with Latasha Lattimore going to the WNBA draft, and also they're going to be losing Cody Manning. So they just really need some more front court help, and I think she would be a great fit alongside Sarah Chinu. Now, I don't know if they necessarily have the best offensive system for her because Addy Crooks is, you know, accustomed to having a lot of three-point shooters around her, which is something that Ole Miss doesn't have. But they do have a massive need at their center spot, and I think she would be a perfect fit for the SEC. I mean, Addy Crooks is she's so physical, she's so strong. We know the SEC, y'all, that's the type of conference that they are. But I think the last team, this might surprise y'all, but the last team that I think makes a lot of sense for Addy Crooks is USC. And I know they already have some elite players like Jazzy Davidson, Juju Watkins, and the incoming number one player in the country, Sanaya Hall. But y'all, they desperately need help in the front court. All those players I just mentioned are backcourt players, are guards, but they need a great center. And can you imagine Addy Crooks, y'all, on the same team with those players? I mean, USC will probably have the best offense in women's college basketball next year if they're able to bring in Addy Crooks. And so I know a lot of people probably not going to have USC on their radar, but I think that would be a great fit for Addy Crooks, and they would definitely give her a chance to compete for a national championship. And those are the teams, y'all, that I think make a ton of sense for Addy Crooks. Again, everyone is going to be interested in her because she is one of the best players in women's college basketball. But I think those are the teams that make the most sense. They give her a great chance to compete for a national championship. And, y'all, it's going to be very interesting to see where Addy Crooks ends up. But no matter where she ends up, she's going to continue to be the dominant player that she's been throughout her entire career. And I cannot wait to see where she ends up. So there you have it, man. This is me discussing, I would say, superstar Addy Crooks entering the transfer portal and why I love this for her. Remember, y'all, laughter is good medicine. So what? Make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm in it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.